Hi, Nancy, by the way.
Hi there.
Hello, everyone, GCMF members. I'm just so happy to introduce Sue and Ted Richards. They're joining us on a spotlight interview. And finally, we've got together. My computer's been down and out with virus, but now it's fixed, I think, because this is take two. One of two things, either I got a problem with my computer or Sue has a very important word for GCMF because we got cut right off at the end of our interview there. So we'll try to keep it in the 15-minute span and go from there. So Sue, it's wonderful to see you. And yeah, we can start from the top.
Okay, glorious day today.
Yes, it is. Amen. So yeah, so how you been making out with in the pandemic in the last year, you and Ted? We touched upon that a little bit.
I knew you were going to ask this question, so I thought maybe I'd split it into the natural and then the spiritual. In the natural, I have a brand new shoulder that I'm very proud of. I'm willing to answer questions. Actually, I've had questions from a couple of GCMF folks. Very successful, and that was the end of September. And Ted is now waiting for surgery for a herniated disc, so he's not going to be able to join us today. He's in quite a bit of pain, but we're hoping for some new body parts for him by June. And I just wanted to mention, Gregor, that one of the wonderful things we found out was we were able to go and get an MRI in the USA, which saved us about 6 months on Ted's time frame. Wow. So if anyone's interested in that, I can steer them in the direction that we learned about it. Because Canada is much slower than it. We just had to go over to Buffalo. And anyway, that was a really good thing. From a spiritual point of view, I've got to say, this has been one of the most interesting and wonderful years of my life. How can this possibly be? Well, on the first day that they announced the shutdown about a year ago now, the Lord just spoke to me when I was out for a walk, and he said, "This is that which you have waited for." I thought, I have waited a very long time for many things. Yes. And I think, so kind of, what do you mean? And he said, it wasn't like he said it. He said, "This is that which you've waited for." But he said, people's idols are going to be brought down. I mean, this can be money, this can be lifestyles, this can be cultural things. I don't know, but I got very excited. So Ted and I decided to keep our access to the secular news venues pretty well off. And that has helped us a lot because we have not gotten anxious or fearful about anything. And we pressed in and just started asking the Lord, well, what does this mean for us? And as you know, we've been working on the family creed, asking a couple of men to have a go at it. And of course, now these two men with big churches, they were overwhelmed with all kinds of responsibilities. So we felt it would be appropriate that Ted and I would take a crack at drafting a family creed. And we checked with the two men and they said, that would be amazing. Just go and do it. So we did it and got wonderful feedback from quite a few people within GCMF. And over the summer and fall, we pilot tested it with 4 families, a Black family, an East Indian family, Hispanic family, and a Caucasian family. And wow, the reports back were excellent. Probably the most exciting was to hear the response of the men. The East Indian man, he's a young pastor with 3 kids. He said, "Sue," he said, "I think the biggest change came within me as we read it as a family." I said, really? That is so excited. And he said, I realized that he kind of felt he was taking a wrong angle on a couple of things, but whatever it was really exciting. And with the Black family, they had two little girls. It was the husband who was all jazzed up about it. He had a friend who does videos and graphics, and he said, can I farm it out to this guy and get him doing something for children? I thought, wow, that is a great idea. I said, but hold on for a second. We need to get this, approved up the line and stuff. But they were just on fire, and his wife was quite prophetic. And they had a vision of themselves in a mall with a little kiosk saying the family creed, where they were handing things out and talking to people as they were going shopping. So it was very, very exciting. And we handed in the draft that we had finished off in early January of 2021. And we have two young women with young families who are developing a shorter version of the family creed for younger kids. So we've still got some work to do on it. But it's just been a fabulous year. I would say sustaining us, GCMF has played a very big part in that. I just loved the regional meetings. Ted wasn't able to go, but I went. No, Ted went to one, and I went to one on my own. The other thing that I found very exciting was Dutch Sheets has started a 15-minute morning devotional called Give Me 15. And he's apostolic in his overview that he presents. And he's just speaking life into what he calls the ecclesia.
Awesome.
And so that's great. So friends, family, GCMF family, there's been a lot of contact with GCMF, and that's been a real encouragement. So
That's
I would
awesome.
say, how are we doing? We're doing very well.
Good.
Very well.
I love what you're working on, both you and Ted, about the family creed and just working with God's word and just solidifying what God's will is for the family. I truly believe that his love, the family is a blueprint of his love, how it should be expressed, and how he teaches us love for ourselves to learn with our own children and relationships in that family cluster. So I just love what you're doing there. Secondly, what kind of ministry have you been able to engage in? You kind of touched upon some of that, but we'll hear a little bit about that.
Well, I would say one of the biggest things is both Ted and I have learned a whole lot of new technology applications.
Right.
We've learned how to use WhatsApp. We've had Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And my brother dropped in to see us one day, and Ted was looking at something on his phone, and my brother Tom said, Ted, that's not good enough. And he went out and bought him an iPad, which was pretty lovely.
Wow.
And so occasionally out of when Ted has to rest quite a bit, and when I hear him chuckling and watching, I don't know, cartoons or something, it's really quite a joy. But our church, of course, we don't pastor a church, but we're part of a large church here in the Grimsby area. And they have adapted most everything into online. I can't say that I've really enjoyed a lot of the Zoom groups and things, but I've been on prayer groups, and I was also part of a face-to-face group of gals who got together for prayer for 4 months. And the church really did quite a bit to reach out. There was a local bakery that had surplus things and wanted it delivered. So they asked me if I would find 3 or 4 families in our community. So I got some good relationships begun there, delivering baked goods. It's always good when you bring cinnamon buns. Who's
Yeah.
gonna say no, you know?
Yeah, the door doesn't close as quickly then, eh?
No, it doesn't, it doesn't. So that was great.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
another things Lakemount did was they sent some of their young leaders to visit the elderly, and we now fit into that category. And they came to our home, and I was really impressed with this young man who came to our house. And he was asking and listening. He wanted to know how we got saved, who we were, and how we got saved, what our interests were. He was stunning. Anyway, that was a great kind of integrating the congregation. Yesterday I was invited to be on a panel speaking into the lives of young, oh, I've forgotten what we call them, interns. Interns, there were 12 kids, and really full of pep, and they're doing a really great job training these young kids for leadership. So that was excellent.
So important to pass down, our experiences as Christians, generation to generation, right?
Yes,
You can't really learn it until you've lived it, and it just solidifies our faith, and it's wonderful to be able to pass that down to them, right?
yes,
Mhm.
for sure. I was also got an invitation to be on at an online conference with a fired up pastor in Ireland.
Mhm.
And there were, I think, 24 of us in the online conference. And this man is a pastor and a prophet.
Mhm.
He gave us a word. And I didn't know that was possible online, but he just hit it right on the head. And he said to Ted and I, he said, your phone's going to start ringing. And
Awesome.
actually it has,
Mm.
from obscure directions.
Wow.
So we're
And
excited.
that's a good segue onto the next question, and that would be the word that we got cut off earlier. But do
Okay.
you have a word for the GCMF members? I would love to hear what God is
Well, I
speaking.
wish I could say, I wish I could say it's my word, but it's not, but it's a GCMF word that I came
Okay.
across that has really gripped my heart. And it's from a book written by Helen Passanen, Experiencing God at Grand Valley Christian Center in Brantford.
Mhm.
And she sent me a copy of her book, and I just want to read a small paragraph. This just jumped out at me, and this is what it has given me, an expectation of what to look for. A new day is dawning where I shall come and be your king, your Lord. You will experience me in a new way. A refreshing glory will come as I take hold of lives. Heal the broken, the lame, the addicts, those oppressed of the devil, those ones defeated in their minds. I say, come, drink of the new outpouring of wine. It will translate into salvations and an abundance of love for all who seek me with all their heart. Do not be confounded with my outpouring. Be thankful I am moving across the land. My spirit will transform lives as I promised. My word, my powerful word, will be experienced. Long for the renewal to hit and pray that it stays long, capturing souls out of darkness and bringing them into my light, my glorious light. And I thought,
Amen.
thank you,
Amen.
Helen.
Yes.
I'm just going to go back to those that we need to keep our eye on, because he's going to heal the broken, the lame, the addicts, those oppressed of the devil, and ones defeated in their minds. And one of the words that I wondered about, it says, do not be confounded with my outpouring. And I thought, why would we be confounded? You know, that's perplexed. Don't be confused or confounded is a strong word. And I thought, well, probably he's going to move upon those that we're not expecting much from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
but that's his pleasure.
Mhm.
That's his pleasure. So thank you,
Mhm.
Helen Passanen. This word has just, it just, I read it and I think, yes, this is what we can expect and we should begin to see.
Amen,
So I've
Sue.
I've
Awesome.
started to put little pins of where I'm hearing things from in
Mhm.
Canada, and I'm expecting it to get full.
Like a jigsaw puzzle. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Amen. Well, thank you, Sue. Give
Okay,
our love to Ted as
okay.
well, and hope for good healing. And our prayers are with you guys for the operation that Ted's going to have, and that he is healed 100%, like you with your shoulder, and that you guys nothing will inhibit what you're doing, and that the Lord is with you both. So from GCMF, we thank you and God bless you. All right,
Thanks so much, Gregor.
no problem. My pleasure.